Oh, the world is filled with laughter and light, and the music of the seasons, and the merchants' windows are all bright with the faces of the children, and the families hurrying to their homes. As the sky darkens and freezes, they'll be gathering around their hearths and tables, giving thanks for God's graces and the birth of the rebel Jesus. We guard our world with locks and guns. We guard our fine possessions. And once a year, when Christmas comes, we give to our relations. And perhaps we give a little to the poor if our generosity should seize us. But if anyone should ever interfere in the business of why they are poor, you get the same as the rebel Jesus. They call him by the Prince of Peace. They call him by the Savior. And they pray to him upon the seas and for every bold endeavor. And they fill his churches with their pride and gold as their faith in him increases. But they've changed the nature that we worship him, from a temple to a robber's den. In the words of the rebel Jesus. So please forgive me if I seem to take the tone of judgment, for I've no wish to come between this day and your enjoyment. In this life of hardship and of earthly toil, we have need of anything that frees us. So I bid you comfort and I bid you peace from a pagan and a heathen, on the side of the rebel Jesus. Merry Christmas, everyone, and happy holiday season. And I appreciate you all joining together and joining with me tonight as I say goodnight to my Wednesday nights. It's really abstract in my head that I'm not that this is Mike Kelly and. Hang on, I gotta adjust something here.
You got the reverb on.
Yeah, I don't, but somebody else does. I got it. No, I got it, Buzz. I got it. The internal reverb was on.
It was the glasses.
I sound better with reverb. But it's weird when you talk and there's reverb, you know. But anyway, yeah, getting ready for tonight this past week has been a little, it's just been kind of abstract to me that we've been doing these Wednesdays for so long, and there's been some breaks in there. There was that pandemic thing. But I thought I would give you just a little history of Wednesday nights. That's what I thought I would do tonight. So the way these Wednesday night things started was
I hadn't played music. My kids were little, and I hadn't played music anywhere in 5 years, which is hard for me to believe now. I went 5 years and didn't play music in front of people, but the songs never stopped coming. That little thing in my brain it won't shut the fuck up. So I ended up with all these songs, and I thought, well, maybe I should play them for people. And I thought, well, I wasn't really in a Rainmakers mood. I thought, well, who? And Michelle said, well, you know that Jeff Porter guy, don't you? And I said, yeah. And she goes, I always thought he was a good guy, a good musician. And she said, you ought to call him up. So I called Jeff, and I said, hey, I haven't played music in a long time. Jeff's kids were little, too. And I said, do you want to try to put an acoustic thing together? And Jeff, and he will recount these words, Jeff said, let me think about it. And he got back to me a few days later, and he goes, yeah, I think I'd like to try that. He goes, we ought to call my brother-in-law Norm, though. And I said, well, I've met Norm over the years. I don't really know him. And the memory that I had of Norm was one of the guys who used to run Parody Hall. He had a house down in Brookside, and it was kind of one of these musician hangout. There was always people coming and going. And he was a bodybuilder, and he had a weight room in the basement, and exercise machines and everything. And for some reason, Rich and I were over there one time, and I went down in the basement, and there's Norm laying on the weight bench with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth while he did it. So 20 years later, when I thought about playing with Norm, I thought, oh yeah, that was that guy. Yeah, he's pretty funny. So the first rehearsal we had, I was still working in the video business, and we had a nice studio downtown, and so Jeff was going to come when he got off work, but Norm arrived early. And it was really awkward because we honestly didn't know each other other than to say hi. And the elders were already going, and so Norm and I are sitting there kind of awkwardly talking about, what's it like to work with Steve Phillips, and how's the band going, and Mike Bliss, and all this stuff. And pretty soon Jeff shows up, and so I said, well, we're just gonna have to dive in and play a song. And they had been doing a little homework. They knew my songs. So here's the first song that we ever worked on.
What if I hadn't walked down those stairs? And what if you hadn't been working there? Life can turn on a dime. Do your best not to blink, lest you miss your exit sign. But that's not what occurred. You were there, and I was angry enough to just not care. If you finally said no to my face, at least then I'd know why my life was such a waste. Life can turn like a gem, catching the light, cutting the night, come blinding. Here it came, everything changed. No one noticed a thing, but for you and me, our whole world tilted immeasurably. Did you know? Could you see how much work this was gonna be? I hear the rumbling beneath the floor. Sometimes love sings, but more often it roars. Life can turn like a spool. Let go of the rope. Forget about your list of rules. Here it comes. Life can turn on a dime. Do your best not to blink, lest you miss your exit sign. Straight ahead, look out! I had a drummer down here in the front row turning and giving me kind of a look when I switched to a waltz beat there. Drummers are so judgmental. So the song that I opened up with was written by Jackson Browne, and I've played it every Christmas on Wednesdays. You know, we started those Wednesdays 22 years ago. And we would always have great Christmas, show before Christmas was always so much fun, and I always loved to play that song. And we would play Frosty the Snowman, and we've done that up here too, and Rudolph, and all kinds of stuff. I'm only going to play 4 Christmas songs tonight. But back at the old record bar, one time when we were planning out our Christmas show, and Jeff had his piano jazzy tunes to do, and I said, well, I want to do these acoustic songs in the middle, and then we looked at it and we realized they were all really melancholy, sad Christmas songs. And so we called that section of the show The Bummer of Christmas. So I'd like to bring that back to you tonight. But I'm going to space them out. It won't all happen at once. But I have plenty of other bummer songs to play. There was a man named Jim who walked everywhere he went, 'cause he could never quite seem to keep his mind on the road. One day it occurred to Jim that he'd taken a wrong turn, 'cause he was standing in a place he didn't know. Jim spun on his heels thinking he'd backtrack for a while, but before he knew it, the sun was sinking. And the landscape in the dark, well, it could have been New Zealand or New York or New Mexico or New Jersey. Ha! So what else is new, Jim was thinking. See, for a while now, Jim felt like things were changing for him. Like the skin of the earth was stretching or the continents were adrift. Jim didn't know if it was so or if it was just him, although he suspected it was a bit of both he was dealing with. And I feel like I'm tripping, and I feel my steps slipping today. I feel the winds of time whipping my coat around my legs, and I feel about 1,000,000 miles away. Broke. Jim awoke, he'd been sleeping on his feet. It was morning now, but a densely foggy day. Jim decided he'd just sit wait for this fall to lift. But when it didn't, he started up again anyway. Man, this is like the blind leading the blind, Jim thought. Right about that time, down the road, there came this seeing-eye dog. It was well fed, it had a collar, but no matter how loud Jim hollered, there wasn't any answer. So he walked on through the fall. All right, I'm lost, Jim said aloud, although a bit begrudgingly, like things might change in light of his confession. He was both amazed and sour that at this late date and hour he might find himself in this situation. And I feel like I'm tripping, and I feel my steps slipping today. I feel the winds of time whipping my coat around my legs, and I feel about a million miles away. A million miles, a million miles. I feel about a million miles away. After walking through the haze for another night and another day, Jim seemed to simply cease to exist. All his panic, hope, and thoughts broke up into small dots as he gave himself away into the mist. Back in the town where Jim lived, sad to say he was never missed. His name was never even spoken again, awful but true. Out my window at night, I think I see Jim standing in the half-light, saying, hurry up, suffering's got a job to do. And I feel like I'm tripping, and I feel my steps slipping today. I feel the winds of time whipping my coat around my legs, and I feel about a million miles away. A million miles, a million miles. I feel about a million miles. About a million miles away. Okay. As you may know, the reason that this is my last Wednesday is that Michelle and I and our granddaughter Calico, we're moving to Lawrence, Kansas. We always wanted to live in Lawrence about 35 years ago. It just took us a while to kind of get everything lined up. And it's just, again, one of those abstract things. I can't really imagine that I'm not going to live in Kansas City until I get there, I guess. But, you know, part of the fun of moving and buying a house and selling a house is you got to have your house inspected. It's not so bad on the house you're buying because they've pretty much fixed everything. But when the inspector comes to look at the house you're selling, oh, shit. I should have fixed that.
Yeah, I should have fixed that too. And why is that floor so slanted? That's the guy that was there tonight just before I came. It's like, wow, that floor really is slanted, isn't it? Yeah. Right. So, to all you people who have bought and sold houses, which is for our age group, pretty much everybody by this time, this song is for us.
I hear the drip, drip, drip of water and woe. See the crumbling ceiling, walk the warping floor. This old house, it's seen it all. Trouble in the pipes, there's a hole in the wall. Plumber come out, gave me a bid, said he'd come back. He never did. I found his wrench, his busted hacksaw, lying in some liquid by a hole in the wall. Before the flood, the change in the air, I missed my opportunity to settle my affairs, to set my house in order, make repairs and amends. How high's the water, mama? Who gives a damn? There's a rattle, rattle, rattle down in the vents. The smell of old age, regrets, events, lives gone by that no one recalls. Laughing in the draft, there's a hole in the wall. I'm a 2x4 stud with a spine full of knots, a square-headed nail getting hammered on the spot. I'll be standing here long after the fall. Crack in the shack, there's a hole in the wall. Somebody's knocking on my cellar door. Brought your monkey's paw, man, leave it in the car. Watch that middle step, flip that naked bulb. Lean in and look, there's a hole in the wall.
So wish me luck. Tomorrow we're supposed to find out if the house passed inspection. We decided our family motto is fingers crossed.
Could be some metaphors in that.
So one of the great joys, well, let me tell you another story. So when I was in college, when I went off to college in Warrensburg, and that's where I first met Gloria Roach. And Gloria and I were she had a guy she was playing music with, and I was playing solo. And we got to play around campus together. It was really, it was an eye-opening time in my life, because Warrensburg, moving from Norburn to Warrensburg, it seemed like I'd gone to New York City. And I had never met, you know, you've heard about some of my my bandmates from Norburn. I basically knew about 3 people who played music. I played music with those guys. I didn't know any other musicians, and I get to Warrensburg and I'm meeting people like Gloria and all these other people who were like incredible singers, and it was just so inspiring. So where was I going with this? Oh, so I played solo at college, but then I went back home and you know played in a band with my friends there, and then when I went to college in Maryville, I played music with my brother, and we also had a bass player. We had a drummer for a while, so we had a band. Then when I moved to Branson, I played in a country band, and so I had a band. And then I moved to Kansas City, and I started Steve, Bob, and Rich. And the drums that had Steve, Bob, and Rich on the drum head, they went up to live in Minnesota this past week. Oh no, it was a good thing. I was ready to kiss them, send them down the road. I hope some kid plays them. Anyway, what was I talking about? So I had Steve, Bob, and Rich. Well, then Steve, Bob, and Rich becomes the Rainmakers. Well, then, you know, we take a break from the Rainmakers, and I start playing music with Jeff and Norm. And I hadn't played solo in decades. And after Una and I played, also another band, Una and I decided, you know, I'm gonna start playing solo at the Westsider. And I was scared to death. Even though I had played in front of a lot of people, there's something about having just another person or two people or a loud-ass rock and roll band behind you that really kind of takes care of the fear factor. Playing solo, I was like, oh, this was a new thing. So the first night that I played solo here, I get up and I start playing, and I'm so nervous, I'm beating the guitar so hard, I break a string on the very first song. Okay, I get a string. So I fix the string, and I start the song again, and I'm beating the guitar, and I break the string again. I haven't even gotten through one song. Buzz is here. He even runs up to the stage to see if I'm okay. So I catch my breath, and I'm like, yeah, I think I can do this. So as the years and the months and the years evolve here, I've gotten very, very used to playing solo. And part of it is the freedom when you're playing just by yourself, that if you decide to make this part longer, well, it's just longer. If you decide to skip the next song, well, you just skip the next song. If you decide to play a song you don't know, well, you do that too. So playing solo here at the Westsider has been a deep and important experience for me, because you guys have given me the freedom to play a whole bunch of new songs. I mean, I love playing the Rainmaker songs, and we will do that again soon. But getting to play new songs is the thing that keeps a songwriter, an artist, a human, moving forward, where you're just not playing the same cover songs over and over or something, you know. So I thank you so much for having the patience of listening to my solo work.
Life can break your heart, leaving shards of shattered faith. There's a feather edge in the dark that divides your night and day. And we're standing here in the light and shadow of another day, and we disappear in the light and shadow of the lives we made. In the ocean of our thoughts, there's a shipwreck on the reef. We put all our notes in a single bottle, hurl it in the sea, and we're waiting here in the light and shadow on the course we take, far away from here in the light and shadow of the plans we made. Love can change your heart, ever old and ever new. When we see beyond all our own small business wonder waits for you. And we're standing here in the light and shadow of another day and another year in the light and shadow of the lives we made. And we disappear in the light and shadow of the lives we live. And we disappear in the light and shadow of the love we give. And we disappear in the light and shadow, disappear in the light and shadow, disappear in the light and shadow, disappear.
Okay, The Bummer of Christmas, song number 2.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. I'll have a blue Christmas, that's certain. And when those blue heartaches start hurting, you'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white. But I'll have a blue Christmas. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. You'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white. But I'll have a blue Christmas. everybody be Elvis with me. Blue, blue, blue Christmas.
A poll has been taken. Nobody wants me to be Elvis.
You'll always be my Elvis.
Oh, yeah. This guy. There's my gift. I'll be over on that right
Go to sleep, little darling, I'll be here in the morning. Love is wrapping around you now. Yards of tender affection swaddle you in protection. Love is wrapping around you now. Oh, hunker down, little wonder, just the lightning and thunder. Love is wrapping around you now. Angels bowling above you, raindrops tapping, I love you. Love is wrapping around you now. Wrapping around, wrapping around. Love is wrapping around you now. Test the water, little swimmer. We all start as a beginner. Love is wrapping around you now. Some things no one can teach you. I'll be where I can reach you. Love is wrapping around you now. Ooh, circle back, little wanderer, tell us what you've seen yonder. Love is wrapping around you now. Roll out a thread you can follow back through your pain and your sorrow. Love is wrapping around you now. Yeah, wrapping around, it's wrapping around. Love is wrapping around you now. Sleep when you can, little mother, babies tucked under the covers. Love is wrapping around you now. Through all the ringing and winding, love is there for the finding. Love is wrapping around you now. I'll be the wind and the feather, I'll be the change in the weather. Love is wrapping around you now. I'm in the sun and the shadow, I'm in the birds in the meadow. Love is wrapping around you now. Wrapping around, wrapping around. I said love is wrapping around. Love is wrapping around you now. Oh, wrapping around, it's wrapping around. Love is wrapping around. Love is wrapping around you. It's wrapping around you. Oh, it's wrapping around you now. Yeah, yeah.
So when I've made 2 albums since I started playing here. I made one album and then I made a double album that all fit on one CD, but it was still twice as long. And that's kind of been the fun, is like coming up here, and I actually have to practice every time I come up here to play, because I've got so damn many songs now that I don't want to screw them up, and I have to refresh myself. But the nice thing when I bring a group of songs to our community, and they start soaking in, the songs start soaking in, and people, they kind of, you start sending back to me these little like cosmic messages of the songs that somehow are like getting into your soul, and that's like the best feeling for a singer, is like, wow, that little song I made, it went out there, and now they're like sending it back to me. It's a wonderful feeling. So that last song I played is one of those songs, wrapping around, whether all these connections that you have between people and family, that those things tie us all together. And this song is another one of those songs that I realized after a while that it really had soaked into people. And it's a song that asks the question, why are you here? But specifically, why are you here? Because we're all immigrants. Yeah, we're all immigrants. Somebody in our past decided to get on a boat or get on a train, but mostly a boat, and come to this country. And the thing is, you lose the story down the way. I don't know why my ancestors in the middle of the 1800s decided to come here. I mean, I know that usually it was because things were bad in the country they were in, hunger or famine or political unrest or religious persecution or something. But then we lose that story. We don't know exactly why it's here. It's like, why here? And that's kind of a wonderful mystery. So this song is about the part of the country that I'm from, and Carroll County, Ray County over there. And I have no idea why my people decided to settle there. But I tried to think about all those people that went before me who just decided, yeah, let's stay here. My people came from Sugar Tree. I took the back roads from Waverly, read the names in the cemetery, wondered who they were and are to me, and why they're calling me to Sugar Tree. My people came from Sugar Tree, left Pennsylvania mid-century, sailed across that inland sea, sat right here on the banks of Walkenhorst Creek, saw the floods and the blizzard so deep, but things grow in Sugar Tree. Our people came from Sugar Tree, break the sod and plant the seed, tend the farm and the family, build the barn and the hatchery, plow the road that leads to me, leading me back to Sugar Tree.
our history becomes fiction eventually, flat on the page of a book you keep on a shelf in your memory, forgotten and indelibly, shading all you do and all you see. Maybe someday you will wonder about me as you read my name in Sugar Tree. Going back to Sugar Tree. Take me back to Sugar Tree. Things grow in Sugar Tree.
So I actually got to play that song over in Carrollton, Missouri, which is where Sugar Tree is over there. And when I got through with the song, this old boy from Sugar Tree came up and he goes, "There never was a hatchery in Sugar Tree." So, hey man, poetic license. So back to our history lesson. So we started playing in 2003 at the old record bar. And Jeff came to me, not about a year into it, a few months into it, and he goes, "Well, Bobby, I'd like to make a record." And I said, "Well," he goes, who should I hire? Where should I go to do this? I've saved up some money." And I said, "Well, Jeff, I know how to do this." I said, "I've got a studio over there where I'm working video, and we've got a great recording set up, and let's just make a record." So Jeff and I started working on his first solo record called 15 Miles. And it was great fun because it was just me and Jeff. And we occasionally brought in some horn players and stuff. But yeah, I'd play drums and Jeff would play guitar, and then Jeff would put on some bass, and then sometimes Norm would put on some bass. And we had a great time, and it's a really, really nice record when I listened to it. And Jeff would always bring a bottle of scotch. And, you know, I think about all the times that the Rainmakers drove crisscross across the country and in Europe, you know, and all the traveling we did, and we never, ever had an accident. And we were sober. That's part of the reason. But when Jeff and I would record over in Miriam, in Mission, and I lived in West Plaza, I was riding a scooter in those days, you know, a little 49cc scooter. And I would ride it down to like 40 degrees. I had one of those insulated suits and a face mask and everything. So he and I would work and record over there for, you know, several hours drinking scotch, and then I would get on that scooter and ride home. Probably the most dangerous thing I've done in my entire life. Stupid and dangerous. So Jeff, you know, we had a great time making the record. And then, you know, those songs of mine started piling up, and I said, "Well, Jeff, you know, this Wednesday night thing is going pretty good. How about you and I make a record?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, that sounds fun, but we've used up all of my good songs." And I said, "Well, you get busy and write some more songs." And so Jeff wrote some more songs, and I wrote some more songs, and we decided to make this record. I'm rocking on to no abandon, a little town to make my home, cross 7 wells and the haunted canyon to the cooling plains where my heart roams. This is the path that I am taking,
settle down in no abandon. After years of running hard, I will lay down my youth's illusions. I will surrender pride's rewards. Out in the yard, white shirts are blowing on a line stretched in between where I've been and where I'm going. No abandon waits for me. Hey! My life has been a mad equation, trying to make the far ends meet. Sex and love, imagination, a quiet burn, oh, a constant heat. I'm in the kitchen of creation, rattling the pots and pans, cooking up no expectations, no abandon, make no plans. Oh, I'm rocking on to no abandon, where I've never been before. Strangely new and strangely familiar. Life's forever being born. Just one more look over my shoulder. See me coming around the bend. I don't look 1 second older. No abandon circles in. I'm rocking on to no abandon. All right. So, you know, nothing is quite as inspiring to all of us, or dispiring. Is there such a word as being anti-inspired? Uninspiring, I guess that's the word. Uninspiring. Nothing is quite as uninspiring as the recent political climate in our country. But it's part of the job of a songwriter. It says so in the Songwriter's Handbook, that you have to address these things. You have to try to find a thread that people can get a hold of, and whether it's 40 people that hear your song or 40 million people that hear your song, write the song, man. Write the song. I've written a few songs about bitching, just bitching about the current situation. But it's better to write a song that kind of like looks forward and thinks, we're bigger than this, we're better than this, we will still be there when this bullshit is over with. last the wind to take back the light we find through the dark to shine, all in good time. I believe in you. Have faith in me too. Now is not the moment to look away. Walk in sacred spaces and turn the day. Ocean deep and wide, love will turn the tide. Yeah, all in good time. All in good time. All in good time. Days pass through our hands, hold all that we can. All I understand is you. Hold you while you sleep, secrets that you keep. Breathe them slow and deep to me, to me. Days cannot hold us inside their lines, for I have loved you outside of time, ever since always, ever since always. Years fall at our feet, clocks stop when we meet. All my history is you. Hold me while we breathe. All that I believe comes down just just to you and me. You and me. Days cannot hold us inside their lines, for I have loved you outside of time, ever since always, ever since always, ever since always. Ever since always.
But I could be wrong. It's always quite possible.
Okay, back to our history lesson. So Jeff and Norm and I had been playing up at the record bar for, how many? About 8 years. We played up there for about 8 years. So Jeff knew, we played a bunch of Rainmaker songs, so Jeff knew all the Rainmaker songs. And when Jeff and I had our No Abandon record, we decided we would go to Norway as a duo, and play these new songs and play some Rainmaker songs, and we also Jeff took along his Stratocaster, and at each gig we played, I had them set up a set of drums, so we would do a handful of songs with just raunchy guitar and drums, and just scream and shout, and had a great time. But the very first show we played, we came out, we played No Abandon, we played something else pretty. And then we started this song, and before I even started singing, all these crazy drunk Norwegians started singing the song without us. And I turned to Jeff and I said, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, they sing along." So we played this song. Now, I'm not even going to play the whole song, but I'll just show you how it went. The whole crowd goes, "The heaps are shiny, shiny, yeah, skull." It was a moment. Jeff was like, "Eddie, I hope you're watching. You and your drunk Norwegian friends." But when Jeff and I got home, and Jeff was talking about, man, the way they reacted to those Rainmaker songs, I said, yeah, I'd kind of forgotten about that they like the Rainmakers over there. So this was 2011. This was 2010, actually. And I thought, you know what? The 25th anniversary of the first Rainmakers record will be this next year, 2011. And if we're ever going to do a reunion, yeah, that'd be a good time. 25 years. And so we asked Steve Phillips he was playing in the Elders, and we asked Steve, and I wrote Steve and I said, here's what I want to do. I just want to play like one show in Kansas City and go to Norway and play 3 or 4 shows and call it a day. That's exactly the answer I got from Steve. Weeks passed, I'm like, what the fuck? So I wrote to him again, and I said, well, Steve, maybe you didn't get my email. And he writes back and he goes, I'm really busy with the Elders. I politely declined. I'm like, oh, okay. Jeff, you want to be a Rainmaker? Jeff goes, well, I already know the songs. And I'm like, yeah. But we, Rich and Jeff had never met. Rich, Ruth, and Jeff had never met. And Jeff knew Pat. So we decided, okay, let's do this. And then being the money grubber that I am, I think, well, let's hell, let's make another record so we got something to sell to these people. Trouble was, this was September, and we were going to go to Norway in March, and I hadn't written any songs that were right for the Rainmakers at all for several years. So I was like, okay, we need to just throw some crap together. So Jeff, you heard about Jeff's cabin, Jeff and Barb's cabin up in Minnesota. So I went up to Minnesota with Michelle and the dogs, and I said, well, I'm gonna write some songs while I'm up here. So Jeff had left a bottle of scotch in the cabin there. So I would pour a little glass of scotch in the middle of the day, and Michelle would lay on the hammock and she would read, and the dogs would either stay there with her or they might just walk down the road with me. There's this long, like, dirt gravel road that goes back to his cabin. And I would take this guitar and I would just start walking, and I'm not sure how I did it. I had a guitar and I had a notebook and I had a glass of scotch. And I wrote 5 songs in 1 week, and then came back home and wrote 5 songs the next week. And it's really weird when you just say, okay, I got to write some songs. Sometimes really good things happen. I think just the freedom of, no one knew the Rainmakers were going to have a reunion. We hadn't told anybody. We were just going to see what happens. And we got together at Pat's house. He hadn't built his studio in the basement yet. He just had his recording stuff in his house in Waldo. And so Pat is literally in the dining room with his drums. Rich is sitting over here in one corner of the living room. I'm sitting in another corner of the living room, and Jeff's over here in this corner with his loud-ass amplifier in the closet. And then in Pat's bedroom is all the recording gear, and so he's strung up all the wires and the microphones, and we would get there at, like, 9 or 10 in the morning, and everybody has some coffee, and we would start learning songs. Now, I will say this, I had sent all the guys demos. I had made demo recordings of all the songs that I wanted to learn, and Pat and Rich, bless their hearts, they had really woodshedded. Jeff didn't even listen to them. Which really turned out to be perfect, because Jeff brought in this fresh, he hadn't thought about it yet. And I think that's the way Jeff works best. It's like, don't overthink it, just let me react. And Jeff brought it. All of the guys brought it. And we were having so much fun. And so we would learn a song and record it in the morning, break for lunch, learn another song and record it in the afternoon. And if that went quickly, we'd learn another song and record it in the evening. We would record 2 or 3 songs a day, done. They'd be done. Wow. And it was just one of the most fun and freedom musical experiences. And to get back together with Rich Ruth was just, I've told this story before. It's like, I had played music with Pat, and Jeff and I had played music with Pat, and Jeff and I had played music, but when Rich Ruth enters the room, it's the Rainmakers. So the first song that we recorded for the 25 On album was about the fact that we had another chance. We had another shot at leaving the egos and all the all the baggage that came along with the first round of the Rainmakers. We kind of just left that outside the front door, and nobody knew we were even recording. Nobody knew there was a reunion. Nobody knew there was songs. Nobody knew there was an album. And we did this.
on track, worship fire and air and earth and water and no despair. Given time, I'll get it. Let me go around, let me go around, let me go around again. Given time, I'll get it. Let me go around, let me go around, let me go around again. Days are seconds, months are minutes. Step right up to the wheel and spin it. Hear the sound of a marching band. Mind the music and the steps, and let's dance. Wash me clean in the blood of a rock and roll band. Before the flood, I will be your friend. Nothing less, nothing more, nothing better than given time. I'll get it. Let me go around, let me go around, let me go around again. Given time, I'll get it. Let me go around, let me go around, let me go around again. Given time, oh, given time, I'll get it. Given time, hey, given time, I'll get it. So every time you think that, that there's an end to a story, it seems like there's always one more chapter. And so in about, a week and a half, 2 weeks, you will hear the next chapter of The Rainmaker. We haven't practiced a lick. All right. All streams must run to the river. All dreams must wake up and end. One's fall is another's beginner. Learning how to walk again. And I'm off into the never, never, waiting for you to respond. And we go alone or together into the back of beyond. Thirsty, we drink from a thimble by the glow of a hurricane lamp. We read a map made of riddles, shaking in the cold and the damp. And I'm off into the never, never, waiting for you to respond. And we go alone or together into the back of beyond. Wisdom is wily and weightless, one grain of sand on the scales, long lines of lowercase letters, all done with mirrors and veils. And I'll walk these lowlands forever, beyond. Into the back of beyond. Into the back of beyond. Ooh, ooh. Oh, thank you for dancing to that one. That was a nice moment.
Like in basketball, you know, when you run into somebody, they call a foul, and it's like.
So it's time to plug Bob's Tupperware show. When I do house concerts and I set up my little table of CDs and books and art prints, I always feel like I'm selling Tupperware. Yeah, try out this plastic dish here. So back in October, I had a whole bunch of paintings hanging up down at Unity on the plaza. And I think quite a few of you stopped by. I got some real nice comments. Well, now the show has moved to Westwood City Hall. So if you want to look at some paintings, go by Westwood City Hall. There's about, I think about 18 paintings hanging up there. And people will say to me, oh, great, Bob, it's great that, you know, you play music and you paint pictures and you've made up some stories. And I say, yeah, I'll do anything to avoid real work. I wish I could dance like Jan Vermeer. He sold his soul for a bucket of light, I hear. When he's drunk and dealt, painting the town. I'd like to see the world a little upside down. And he laughs at me across 300 years. Now I'm painting like a Jan Vermeer. I wish that you loved me like Jan Vermeer. Down at the Rocks Museum, you were all in tears. Touch your love with a sable brush, but at the silent auction, think I said too much. Put your heart on the block for the highest bidder. Sold to Jan Vermeer. Watching you with Jan Vermeer. I got a private eye and a dying ear. Got a camera obscura and a frosted glass. Got chiaroscuro out the ass. And you're betting I'm sweating just sitting here while you're tearing up the tapestry with Jan Vermeer. I wish I was famous like Jan Vermeer. He went from worthless to priceless in less than a year. I've been from worthless to priceless and back again. I stretched my back on the rack, trying to stretch my skin. I think 2300's gonna be my year. I'll be framed and hung like Jan Vermeer. Like Jan Vermeer. I am an artist. Okay, time for the next song from the Bummer of Christmas.
It's coming on Christmas. They're cutting down trees. They're putting up reindeer, singing songs of joy and peace. I wish I had a river I could skate away on. But it don't snow here, it stays pretty green. Gonna make a lot of money, quit this crazy scene. I wish I had a river I could skate away on. Oh, I wish I had a river so long I would teach my feet to fly. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. I made my baby cry. She tried hard to help me. She put me at ease. She loved me so good it made me weak in the knees. I wish I had a river I could skate away on. But I'm so hard to handle. I'm selfish and I'm sad. I went and lost the best friend that I ever had. I wish I had a river I could skate away on. Oh, I wish I had a river so long I would teach my feet to fly. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. I made her say goodbye. It's coming on Christmas. They're cutting down trees. They're putting up reindeer, singing songs of joy and peace. I wish I had a river I could skate away on. I'm good. I got one here. Thank you. Larry, they only let me have one beer a night. They cut me off. I got one beer, so I make it last, but thank you. It's funny, nobody ever offers to buy me beers, and two people have come up and said, Bob, you need a beer. No, I got one here that I'm not drinking. So. But thank you. So there was an artist that lived just a few blocks that way, and you might have heard of him. His name was Thomas Hart Benton. And I wish I had been in Kansas City when you would actually see him like wandering the streets here and stuff. I wish I had met him, and I never did. But he was a character, and he was an incredible harmonica player. Did you know that about Thomas Hart Benton? Yeah, and he actually devised a way of writing out harmonica music. You blow into a harmonica and you draw, you suck into it in a harmonica to get different notes. And he figured out this way of writing a type of harmonica music that they still use today.
So besides doing those paintings, he was a harmonica player. But Thomas Hart Benton, you know, he was part of that generation that no matter where you came from, you went to Paris. If you were going to be serious about being a painter, you went to Paris. And so he did that, and he came back, and he was painting like the Impressionists, and it was good, you know, really good. And then he kind of starts looking around him, like right here in the heartland, and think, well, this is where I'm from. What can I say about this place? So he started painting this place and the stories and the legends of the Midwest, and he became famous pretty early on, and had lots of work, lots of commissions. You know, he painted restaurants downtown, and he also paints like the state capitol and great murals. Yeah, and he worked. That man worked, I'll tell you. And but fame came to Thomas Hart Benton, and he was happy about that. He made some money, bought a big house over here in Volker. But he said, you know, when your paintings end up like in museums, they become kind of this like sacred thing because they're like worth a bunch of money, and so they have to be protected. And I wish people could just like see my paintings like hanging in the local bar. I wish they just hang, you know, I wish they were, in fact, he said, I wish my paintings were hanging in outhouses. That way people would have to sit and look at them for a while. And I realize how lucky I am. I think I actually have paintings hanging in outhouses. But I'll never have to worry about my paintings being worth too much money, I don't think. I'm lucky that way. Some paintings they hang in fine museums. Some hang in the castles of kings. I'm hanging my tune at the local saloon, living Tom Benton's dream. Some people, they paint for the money. Some paint for the notoriety. I'm playing for you, nothing better to do than be living Tom Benton's dream. Beauty is everywhere around you, waiting and wanting to be seen. Open your eyes to the wonder on the wall. It's all in Tom Benton's dream. Some people, they tell me that I should've been way more famous than I seem. So fix me up a plate of your finest sour grapes. I'm living Tom Benton's dream. Beauty is everywhere around you, waiting and wanting to be seen. Open your eyes to the wonder on the wall. It's all in Tom Benton's dream. And if you decide there's something this song lacks, I'll give you your $5 back. I'm living Tom Benton's dream. Yes, you can hang me in your outhouse. I'll be happy. I told myself I wasn't going to play too many Rainmaker songs tonight because we're going to be doing that in a couple weeks, but oh, what the hell. Me and Mark Twain were having us a ball, telling each other lies, floating down from Hannibal with a bottle and a worm and a cane pole. We were fishing for
catfish crawl. The Mississippi River flowing downstream, meet the Gulf of Mexico somewhere. Downstream, meet the Atlantic Ocean somewhere. Downstream, I'm gonna meet you in the water somewhere downstream. Picked a paratrooper floating down from Independence. Said, what about the war? He said, good riddance. Said, what about the bomb? Are you sorry that you did it? He said, pass me that bottle, mind your own business. And the Mississippi River flowing downstream, meet the Gulf of Mexico somewhere. Downstream, meet the Atlantic Ocean somewhere. Downstream, I'm gonna meet you in the water somewhere downstream. Round in St. Louis, heading for the coast. Picked up Chuck Berry in a little rowboat, with one oar in the water, one in the air, a lightning rod for a white guitar. Lightning struck once, lightning struck twice. I said there's a God, it sure ain't nice. Chuck said God is an Indian giver. I don't trust nothing but the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River flowing downstream, meet the Gulf of Mexico somewhere. Downstream, meet the Atlantic Ocean somewhere. Downstream, I'm gonna meet you in the water somewhere downstream. The Mississippi River flowing downstream, meet the Gulf of Mexico somewhere. Downstream, meet the Atlantic Ocean somewhere. Downstream, I'm gonna meet you in the water somewhere downstream. And you will hear a bigger, better version of that in about 2 weeks. And I hate to be a spoiler here. I hate to give you a spoiler of the story. But for those of you who didn't get tickets to this show, for the Rainmakers, we are going to play again this summer. So. If we don't die at this gig, we will play again this summer. So this was one of the first songs that I wrote that Jeff and Norman and I learned how to play. And it happened because I had watched an interview with Johnny Cash. And Johnny was talking about, he said, you know, working in the entertainment business and the record business, it just gets really busy, and I gotta meet with managers, and I gotta sign contracts and talk to lawyers. He said, really, all I want to do is just play guitar. And I heard that interview, and the next morning I went down to Luce Park, and I would walk around the park, and I started walking around the park and started the song, and by the time I got around to the end, I had finished the song. Because it's a country song. How hard can it be? All the songs I sing are are sad ones. Expectations of me are all bad ones. I couldn't have less to live up to if I tried. Explanation, I can't report one. My obituary will be a short one. He played guitar till the day he died. And all I wanna do is sing a few songs of aching love and a couple of old hymns for the folks back home. And a last chance for a slow dance with your one true love. Here on my broken radio. All my memories aren't good ones. Coulda, shoulda, woulda ones. But in there are a couple I wouldn't trade. Like the night when I first met her. Would I forget her or regret her? Ask them ghosts dancing on my grave. And all I wanna do is sing a few songs of aching love and a fast one for the youngsters that I know. And the last chance for a last dance with your one true love. Here on my broken radio. Here on my broken radio. So actually the thing that has dawned on me while I've been getting ready for this gig is how lucky I am. I mean, if you had told 16-year-old Bobby, who was sitting on his bed strumming guitar, that, hey man, in let's see, 16 plus, in 60-some years, 50-some years, you're still going to be playing guitar and singing for people, I would have thought, yeah, I don't know about that. You know? But I still love doing this, and I love the fact that you have given me a space to bring new songs, and give it up for Mike Kelly and all the staff here. For giving so many musicians a great place to play music where, you know, there's freedom, anything goes. You can be as creative and crazy as you want. And I think the variety of music that happens in this place is like, it affects the walls. You walk in here and you just kind of feel like, man, there's a lot of notes that have happened in this place. But I am grateful, I really am. Days go by, count them on my toes, and fingers linger on what I thought life would be. All the falls so, still standing, landing on my feet so awkwardly. Lucky me, oh lucky me. Never would have known if you hadn't shown me the road to what it's all about. Never would have been more than half a man planning to take the easy way out. God is chance, holy chaos, sacred blunder, thunder, lightning striking randomly. Lucky me, lucky me, lucky me. We are born, favor or misfortune falling on our shoulders undeservedly. Lucky me, lucky me, lucky me. Can we ever know, will we ever show what we have learned from all our mistakes? Come to realize truth and lies are tangled up in the beautiful mess that we make. Oh, close enough, cutting it too close for comfort. Show me grace and throw me honesty. Lucky me, lucky me, lucky me, yeah. Lucky me, lucky me, oh lucky me, lucky me.
I am a lucky man.
Way down south in the piney woods, there's a guy. Well, I got to tell a story about this. So when we were playing at the record bar for quite a while, and then here at the Westsider for quite a while, I realized that this is very much like church, because when I was growing up, Wednesday night was church night. The schools made sure they didn't schedule anything on Wednesday night, because Wednesday night was church night. The Baptists would get real pissed off if anything landed on a Wednesday. You don't mess with the Baptists, right? So Wednesday night was church night. Well, once we got the music community going, and Wednesday night kind of became, this community gathering, and people would sit in exactly the same places every week. Just like in church. It's like you go to church and like, no, that's our pew. You can't sit there. So I was thinking about that concept of these community get-togethers, music, the spirituality of music, and it just reminded me of like a revival. So that's where this song came from. Way down south in the piney woods, there's a gospel quartet singing like it should. I got my hair slicked back, linen suit so fine. At the Wednesday night revival, turpentine. They got the rolling bass, got a baritone, got a ringing high tenor reaching Jesus on the throne, and a smooth lead singer got the women crying, sweating salvation. Turpentine, we're singing turpentine. Save my soul, spirit of the pine. It's a masterpiece waiting to be signed. Cleaning my brushes, turpentine. A spoonful of sugar and hold your nose. It'll kill everything but the Holy Ghost. It's a pine tar communion, body, blood, and wine. In the folds of the choir robes, turpentine. Turpentine, oh turpentine, save my soul, spirit of the pine. It's a masterpiece waiting to be signed. Cleaning my brushes, turpentine. Now I'm sitting in the back pew, thumbing through the hymns, trying to figure out how to write me one of them. I got a story to tell, could do some testifying, but God ain't given me the calling, turpentine. turpentine, turpentine. Save my soul, spirit of the pine. It's a masterpiece waiting to be signed. Cleaning my brushes in turpentine. Now when they lay me down in a minor key and they shovel my words in on top of me, I'll be in a quartet with some friends of mine. An eternity of Wednesdays. Turpentine, turpentine, yeah, turpentine. Save my soul, spirit of the pine. It's a masterpiece waiting to be signed. Cleaning my brushes in turpentine. We're singing turpentine, oh, turpentine. Save my soul, spirit of the pine. A masterpiece waiting to be signed. Cleaning my brushes, turpentine.
Thank you, Wednesday Night Community. Our little church here. And my darling Michelle wanted me to make sure I told you all, thanks for all the years of support that you've given to Kansas City Schools, to CASA, to Jeff's Food Kitchen that he ran for so long. You guys have, besides, keeping us scroungy musicians employed, you guys have done a lot for this community, and Michelle said to tell you thank you from her role in it, and I thank you from my heart. Thank you so much.
I was sitting in a bar after a gig in Albuquerque, watching Johnny flirting with a model in pearls. I just got off the phone with a Finnish ballerina. All that's on my mind is a Missouri girl. A Missouri girl back in a dive in Kansas City, separated from a bum without a clue in the world. I wasted lots of time with some crazy little women, calling in my cards for a Missouri girl. A Missouri girl, she got a crow over her shoulder. A Missouri girl, got a twister in her heart. Gonna cross the Shenandoah, move the weight of the world. Been a long worth waiting for a Missouri girl. Don't need no easy smile, need no sunny disposition. All I need is every day her love I got to earn. Smell of something burning, healthy dose of healthy tension. Don't take nothing for granted with a Missouri girl. A Missouri girl got a crow over her shoulder. A Missouri girl got a twister in her heart. Gonna cross the Shenandoah, move the weight of the world. It's been a long worth waiting for a Missouri girl. Yeah. I played in Montreal, played in Omaha, Nebraska, played in big arenas, every smoky bar in the world. You ask me what I've learned, I haven't learned nothing. All I've learned is all I need is a Missouri girl. A Missouri girl, got a crow over her shoulder. A Missouri girl, got a twister in her heart. Gonna cross the Shenandoah, move the weight of the world. It's been a long worth waiting for a Missouri girl. Been a long worth waiting for a Missouri girl.
That song even inspired a tattoo. Okay, I've got one more Christmas song for you. And this is not a real well-known song, but it is a real well-known poem. This poem was written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow during the American Civil War. And you know, if we think times are tough now, it's hard to even imagine how hard and discouraging and painful and frightening that things were during the American Civil War. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote this song, wrote this poem, and it's been set to music in many different ways, but I love this arrangement because I think it feels like it really gets that feeling of hopelessness, but then it gets that feeling of hope. And that's the important part that we have to remember. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play. Wild and sweet the words repeat, peace on earth, goodwill to men. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. I thought of how the day had come when the belfries of all Christendom rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. But in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said. For hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then rang the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor does he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play. Wild and sweet the words repeat, peace on earth, goodwill to men. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Peace on earth, goodwill to everyone. That'll be our wish. Now let's take this dance party home, okay? Somewhere under this moon tonight, my lover is holding my shadow tight. Doesn't know my face or know my name, but she hears my melody all the same, and we move slow.
tales. We've nodded on the narrows to who knows where. Crossed our paths in crowded streets. We've been so close, someday we'll meet when times are right, stars align. But till then we'll dance, let's dance on the width of the line, where our heart meets heart, mind meets mind, love's in the air. It could be everywhere. Someday we'll walk, let's walk on the edge of the world. Our bodies in balance, our dreams endure, where love is the width of a line. Is there an ounce of a child left in her heart? Is there one last untamed, untouched part? Can I fan those flames she's so scared of? Love her like she's never been loved. Is there a drop of a dream I can still believe? Can she mend my tear, weave my sleeve, wrap me in true colors proud, muffle my drum when it bangs so loud? Well, hear the drum, well, let's dance on the width of the line, where heart meets heart, mind meets mind, love's in the air. It could be everywhere. Someday we'll walk, let's walk on the edge of the world. Our bodies in balance, our dreams endure, where love is the width of the line. Hey, 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 na na na. Hey, 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 na na There are so many people that I need to thank that I'm sure I'm going to forget somebody. Thank my old friend Buzz for all the miles and all the smiles that we have spent together. I always said, if Buzz was there, everything was going to be okay. And to the man who has brought Kansas City music out to the world, out to the known universe, Jay, thank you so much for doing this. And to Mike Kelly and all the wonderful people, Martin, Nikki, whoever else is back there tonight, thank you for making this place be a home for so many of us. And lastly, to all of you, getting to play here it's changed my life. It really, really has. It's made me a better person. It's made me a better musician. And we sure have had some fun. And Mike Kelly wrote, Mike or somebody, I'm not sure who wrote it, but they wrote a really, really nice thank you to me and to you. You know, it wasn't just to me, it was to you for making this such a great community, a great place for music, a great place for people, a nice place to feel like yourself, you know. She's sitting at home with the radio on to that mystery station that nobody owns. I'm plugged, I'm wired, I'm tuned, I'm hoping I'm the wolfman love and the lines are open. Come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on. Come on, let's dance on the width of the line, where a heart meets heart, mind meets mind, love's in the air. It could be everywhere. Someday we'll walk, let's walk on the edge of the world. Our bodies in balance, our dreams endure, where love is the width of a line.
so much for this wonderful evening and for all the wonderful years up here. I will be back. Good night. I've never done an encore here in my life, and I'm not about to start now. Oh, okay, I
will. Down Overland Hill, she was waiting there at the bottom of me with a big blank stare that was open to anything, legal or not. I fell in love with her right there on the spot. She kissed me soft for a minute or two, then we rolled down Overland Hill. She was blowing Solana dust off a truck when she ran into me in a stretch of bum luck. It was more like dumb luck on my part when I jimmied the lock and broke into her heart. We hit the gas and the gravel flew, and we rolled down Overland Hill. Rolled down the window, let the wind blow away all the things that you don't want to think about today. Tears don't roll uphill, they say, as we broke through the clouds and into the day. We got off the highway in some railroad town where we bounced a few checks and we slammed a few down. At the Walkenhorst Motel, in an hourly room, she lay naked on the bed, watching cartoons in our rear view mirror. They were shaking the bill as the snow rolled in from Overland Hill. We drove in spirals to who knows where. We figured we'd know when we finally got there. 40 miles from Manhattan, we ran out of gas. Spent the night shivering under an overpass. The way she looked in the mercury vapor light, a sunflower nodding in the white Kansas night. I was a scarecrow trying to keep my head while she slept like she was home in her own bed. Every once in a while she would talk in her sleep, mumble some name unfamiliar to me. I guess in the morning I should have let it go, but I've never been one to leave well enough alone. Roll down the window, let the wind hit your face. You can have it all, just not all in one place. Sometimes things, oh, they work out good. Sometimes they don't, no matter how you wish they would. Tears don't roll uphill, they say, but over my shoulder I expect someday to hear a voice say, love, aren't you going my way? And she'll kiss me soft as the wind blows away all the things that we don't want to think about today. Roll down Overland Hill. Oh, down Overland Hill. Yeah, down Overland Hill. Peace on earth, goodwill to all of you. Have a great holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Peace and love. We will see you again. Good night.